The title of this video says the wing is dead. That sounds dramatic, maybe even a little crazy, but by the time this video is over, you are going to understand exactly why we said it. And you are going to agree. Because what Xiaomi just revealed at the 2026 Beijing Auto Show does not just challenge 50 years of European hypercar engineering, it makes it look like a museum exhibit. Picture a hypercar with no rear wing, no front splitter, no external aerodynamic surface of any kind, just a smooth, clean body and an aerodynamic efficiency ratio so far beyond what Ferrari, Porsche, and McLaren have ever achieved that engineers who saw the number assumed it was a misprint. Europe's best ratio was 3.0. Xiaomi just posted 4.1. with no wing. And the gap between those two numbers is exactly what this video is about. This is not about one fast car. Today, we are dissecting exactly how Xiaomi did it. The reverse lifting body stolen directly from aerospace engineering, the 2,200 megapascal steel stronger than a nuclear submarine hull, and the bulletproof battery vault that made every Western performance EV look like it was built in a different century. By the end of this video, you will not just understand why the wing is dead, you will be shocked it survived this long. And to understand how a phone company killed it, you first need to understand the law they broke. Because for 50 years, this law was treated by every performance car engineer in the world the same way you treat gravity. You do not fight it, you do not question it, you build around it. The law is simple. If you want a car to corner fast without flying off the track, you need downforce. A force pressing the tires into the asphalt so they can generate grip. And for half a century, every manufacturer from Ferrari to McLaren to Lamborghini has generated that downforce the same way. You bolt a wing to the back of the car, air hits the wing, gets pushed downward, and that reaction force presses the rear of the car into the road. It works. It has always worked. And it works so well that the entire culture of motorsport, the visual language of performance cars, the silhouette you recognize from 100 meters away, is built around it. But the wing has a dirty secret. Every kilogram of downforce it generates comes with a tax, drag. The wing is fighting the air at the same moment it is using the air. Engineers have spent 5 decades trying to solve this. Porsche spent hundreds of millions on the Taycan's active aerodynamics. Ferrari spent years on the SF90's rear wing system. McLaren built an entire hydraulic system just to move the wing on the P1. And after all of that, all that money, all that talent, all those decades, the best efficiency ratio any of them ever achieved was 3.0. That number became the accepted ceiling, and the entire industry quietly agreed to stop asking whether there was another way. Then Xiaomi looked at that ceiling and decided to walk straight through it. And here is where the story gets genuinely interesting, because the solution they used did not come from automotive engineering at all. Look at a stealth bomber. There is no wing bolted to the top of it, no massive external surface to generate lift. The entire aircraft is the wing. The body itself is shaped with such precision that air flowing over and under it generates lift automatically, just from the shape of the fuselage. This concept has a name. It is called a lifting body. Aerospace engineers have understood it for over 60 years. NASA used it. The military uses it. The physics were never a secret. Xiaomi took that 60-year-old concept and flipped it completely upside down. Instead of shaping a body to generate lift upward the way an aircraft does, they engineered the Vision GT's body to generate downforce downward, sucking the car onto the road using nothing but the shape of the vehicle itself. They called it a reverse lifting body architecture. And the way it actually works is one of the most elegant things in engineering right now. Think about what happens to a roof in a hurricane. The air moving over the curved surface travels faster than the air underneath it. Faster moving air has lower pressure, so you end up with lower pressure above the roof and higher pressure below it. That difference creates a net upward force, and that is why roofs fly off in storms. Not because the wind pushes them up from below, because the low pressure above them literally sucks them upward. Xiaomi engineered that exact same effect, but underneath the car. By physically separating the cockpit from the front and rear chassis nodes, they created ultra-narrow sculpted channels beneath the body. When the Vision GT moves forward, air enters those channels and accelerates. As it accelerates, pressure drops. The pressure underneath becomes dramatically lower than the pressure above, and the entire mass of the vehicle gets sucked violently downward onto the asphalt. No wings, no splitter, no external surface of any kind, just physics and the shape of the car. The result is a number that makes every European aerodynamicist deeply uncomfortable. A ratio of 4.1 against an industry ceiling of 3.0 that Ferrari, Porsche, and McLaren spent decades and billions trying to crack. And here is what makes it worse. The lifting body principle was sitting in aerospace textbooks the entire time. They had access to the same physics. What they did not have was the willingness to question a 50-year-old assumption. But if you think the aerodynamics are the most impressive part of what Xiaomi unveiled in Beijing, you have not been paying attention. Because removing the rear wing created a brand new problem, and their solution came from somewhere nobody expected. At 150 miles per hour, a car with no external aerodynamic surfaces faces a threat that a winged car handles automatically. Lateral crosswinds. When a crosswind hits a traditional car, the wing physically redirects those forces. It is passive, mechanical, and it works. But when there is no wing, a sudden crosswind can disrupt the low-pressure zone under the car. A lateral gust hits those underbody channels from the side, and in a fraction of a second, your downforce becomes unpredictable. At race speed, that is not an inconvenience. That is a catastrophe. Xiaomi's answer to this problem is invisible, literally. Hidden inside the rear taillight ring of the Vision GT is what Xiaomi calls an active boundary layer control system. Hundreds of micropores, holes so small they are invisible to the naked eye, are embedded around the rear of the car. These pores actively pump precisely directed airflow outward, creating an invisible wall of moving air around the rear of the vehicle. When a crosswind arrives, it does not hit the underbody channels. It hits this wall first and gets deflected before it can do any damage. Think about how noise-canceling headphones work. They do not block sound with a physical barrier. They generate an opposing sound wave that cancels the incoming noise before it reaches you. Xiaomi's system works on exactly the same principle. It does not block crosswinds, it neutralizes them before they arrive. And they did not stop there. Look at the wheel hubs of the Vision GT. On every other performance car, wheel covers are either solid aero discs or open spokes. On the Vision GT, the transparent outer shield stays completely stationary, while the internal gear-shaped structure rotates with the wheel, acting as a centrifugal turbine that pulls cold air directly onto the carbon ceramic brake rotors and expels hot air outward, all without disturbing the outer slipstream. McLaren spent 3 years and enormous resources developing the active aero system on the P1. Hydraulic actuators, moving flaps, external surfaces that physically extend and retract at speed. Xiaomi's entire crosswind management and brake cooling system has no moving external parts. It is invisible, and it is more sophisticated than anything bolted to the outside of a European hypercar. Now that is the aerodynamics story. But here is the thing nobody's talking about. Because a car that corners like a stealth fighter still needs a chassis that can survive what 1,900 horsepower does to a structure at race speed. And what Xiaomi built underneath that body will make you uncomfortable in the best possible way. In a traditional high-performance car, the crash structure works like a corridor. When kinetic energy enters the front of the vehicle, it travels in one direction, forward through the main structural beams, while the front crumples in a controlled sequence to absorb the impact before it reaches the cabin. It works. It has saved countless lives, but it has one fundamental limitation. One path means one concentrated flow of energy, and at the speeds a hypercar operates, that single path can be overwhelmed. Xiaomi built 3 paths simultaneously. When impact energy enters the front of the Vision GT, it is instantly split. Upward through the shock towers, straight back through the longitudinal beams, and downward through the subframe. Think of it like a river hitting a 3-pronged fork. Instead of one violent surge crashing through, the force is divided across 3 channels at the same moment. The energy does not build up. It is diluted before it can concentrate. And the material those channels are made from is where the story becomes genuinely extraordinary. The yield strength of the steel in Xiaomi's A-pillars, B-pillars, and roof rails is 2,200 megapascals. That number needs a comparison to land properly. The pressure hull of a deep-sea nuclear submarine, the steel cylinder designed to withstand the crushing weight of the ocean, at depths that would flatten a regular steel container like an empty soda can, uses steel in a similar strength range. Xiaomi put submarine pressure hull metallurgy into the structural cage of a passenger car. The result is a chassis engineered not just to pass global crash standards, but to comfortably absorb impacts at speeds 20% higher than the strictest international regulations require. And here is why that 20% number is more significant than it sounds. Because of the way kinetic energy is calculated, mass multiplied by velocity squared, a 20% increase in speed does not mean 20% more energy to absorb. It means 44% more energy. The cage does not bend under that load, it does not deform, It arrests the physics of the crash entirely. Porsche's 911 GT3 RS is engineered to meet global crash standards. Full stop. The Xiaomi chassis is engineered to exceed them by nearly half. That is not a marketing claim. That is a physics calculation based on published structural data. But the chassis is only half of what keeps the people inside this car alive, because there is one more problem. And this is the one that has kept engineers at Ford, GM, and Porsche awake at night long before Xiaomi came along. It is not the speed. It is not the weight. It is what happens when a high-voltage lithium battery pack gets punctured by road debris at highway speed. When that happens, thermal runaway begins. The internal temperature of the battery cells climbs to over 1,000 degrees Celsius in seconds. The resulting fire does not behave like a normal fire. It generates its own oxygen from the chemical reaction happening inside the cells. You cannot extinguish it with water. You cannot smother it. You wait for it to burn out and keep everything else away. Western automakers responded by adding thicker aluminum plates underneath the battery. Tesla's Model S Plaid uses a reinforced aluminum undertray as its primary protection. It adds weight, kills efficiency, and has still been involved in fire incidents following road debris strikes. Thicker aluminum is not a solution. It is a compromise dressed up as one. Xiaomi refused the compromise. They built 3 completely separate layers of protection and stacked them on top of each other. The first layer is a 1,500 megapascal honeycomb aluminum extrusion running around the entire perimeter of the battery pack. The second layer is a massive transverse anti-scrape beam mounted at the front of the undercarriage. Its sole purpose is to physically shatter road debris, stones, metal fragments, anything, before it has the chance to travel under the car and reach the battery floor. It is not a shield that absorbs the threat. The third layer is what makes automotive engineers do a double take when they read the spec sheet. The entire underside of the battery pack is coated in a proprietary ballistic-grade resin, not a standard PVC coating, not reinforced aluminum sheeting, ballistic-grade resin, the same category of material used in bulletproof armor panels. There is no direct equivalent to this system in any Western production or performance vehicle on the market today. Now put all of it into one car. The aerospace aerodynamics, the submarine steel, the bulletproof battery vault, and then put that car on the one track in the world where none of it can be faked. The Nürburgring Nordschleife, 20.8 kilometers of the most brutal tarmac in existence, 73 corners, elevation changes of 300 meters. For 50 years, every serious performance car manufacturer has used this circuit as the single agreed standard for proving whether a car is genuinely fast or just fast on paper. Not a controlled marketing track, not a smooth banked oval. The real thing, in real conditions, with real consequences for getting it wrong. The production Xiaomi SU7 Ultra posted an official lap time of 7 minutes and 4 seconds, becoming the fastest electric executive car ever to lap the Nordschleife, 3 seconds quicker than a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. That is the car real customers ordered, paid for, and are driving on public roads right now. Then Xiaomi sent a prototype and ran 6 minutes and 46 seconds, beating the Porsche Taycan Turbo GT. Then they came back a third time and posted 6 minutes and 22 seconds, putting them third on the entire Nordschleife leaderboard across every car, every category, every era. 3 visits, 3 records. Each one was faster than the last. Imagine a first-year law graduate walking into the Supreme Court and defeating the most experienced attorney in the country. Then coming back the next week and doing it again. Then coming back a third time and finishing ahead of every attorney who has ever argued there. That is what Xiaomi just did at the Nürburgring. Not a moral victory, not a lucky result. A systematic, escalating, on-the-record dismantling of the benchmark that European performance engineering spent 50 years building. Ferrari has not commented. McLaren has not commented. The silence from Woking and Maranello is louder than anything either company could have said. But here is what the lap times do not tell you, because the SU7 Ultra is not the real story. The real story is what it represents. The Vision GT concept, 1,900 horsepower, Formula One band active aerodynamics, a body that generates downforce without a single external surface, is not a dream built for a motor show and quietly shelved afterward. It is a preview of what Xiaomi can already build right now. Every technology in that concept already exists in their Beijing factory today. The reverse lifting body is verified. The submarine steel is in production. The bulletproof battery vault is already in customer hands. The Vision GT is not the future. It is the announcement that the future is already built, and Xiaomi is not moving alone. 3 years ago, the Western automotive press called Chinese performance cars a joke. Appliance makers, they said. No soul, no heritage, no understanding of what makes a driver's car. Today, those same publications are publishing technical breakdowns of reverse lifting bodies and ballistic battery vaults. The conversation has shifted completely. Across the entire Chinese performance car industry, the same conclusion is being reached simultaneously, that the European hypercar formula built around passive rear wings, traditional chassis construction, and bolted-on battery protection is not just being challenged, it is being replaced, component by component, assumption by assumption, by engineers who never accepted those assumptions in the first place. The European Union has imposed 35% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. The United States tariff sits at 100%. And the engineers at Ferrari and Porsche are not looking at tariff tables. They are looking at a 4.1 aerodynamic efficiency ratio posted by a company that started making cars 3 years ago. And they are asking a question that has no comfortable answer. That question is the same one we want to leave you with. Because the lifting body concept was never a secret. It has been in aerospace textbooks for 60 years. NASA used it. The military used it. Ferrari, Porsche, and McLaren had access to the same physics the entire time. What they did not have was the willingness to look at a 50-year-old assumption and ask whether it still made sense. If a rear wing that motorsport treated as untouchable for half a century can be made completely obsolete in 3 years by a company that was making smartphones, what other assumptions are we still protecting right now that someone, somewhere, is about to walk straight through? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If this video changed the way you think about what a car can be, or what any industry becomes when someone stops accepting the rules, hit that like button and subscribe. We have something coming next that starts exactly where this one ends. I will see you then.